Oh, cool. We've got attendees coming in now. All right. Well, I will welcome you. Oh, now we've got 3. Cool. So yeah, welcome everybody to the Lunch and Learn for Thursday, November 11th. My name's Noah Young. I'm on the professional services team, and I am your host today. And I mean, yeah, let's just jump into it and work through stuff. And then I see that we have Fernanda here, and Fernanda, you had sent in a question beforehand that I was hoping we could work through that.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, all right. So I want you to walk me through how you have it set up on your end. So I'll just create a folder on my local real quick. Lunch and learn.
Well, I'm using a database structure.
Mm-hmm. You're using a database structure?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a few fields there,
Mm-hmm.
all decimal fields.
Mm.
And then I created a flow to user action flow so that I could edit these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I try to edit it, I type the value like 2.718 or something, like 5 decimal digits, and it becomes 27, and it's a big number. It's not decimal anymore.
Yeah. And then are you using a form with a number box to type that in? Okay, cool.
Yes.
So let's see. So decimal sheet test. Save. All right, so if you can pull up your form and walk me through how your form is set up.
It's just decimal fields, no number boxes, and the output type is decimal.
Okay.
So I have one with 5 decimal digits, another one with 1.
Okay.
I have like 5 of them.
Mm-hmm. Field, output is decimal. Okay. Just put that button there. Save. Let's go ahead and edit this guy. Advanced. No, it's trying to do that one. There we go. Enable actions. User actions. User action. Edit. All right, decimal field. The example. Change value. The example. Save entities. What did I even call it? No, it's going to be in my data explorer. There we go. Decimal issue test. Save that one. All right. And then let me go ahead and create a flow to add. Yeah. I'll just set this to take in the decimal value. Save. just do the create step. Database structures. Decimal issue test. Create. Integrate, build data. Constant, wait, not constant. I gave myself an input for that. Boom. All right, and then let me that. There we go. Select. All right, cool. I've got it in there. It does say 1.5. All right, so now let me go ahead and create a report. And then need to put that on a page. Report viewer, pick that one. I'll just pour that over into that column, save. And then on this folder, page/dashboard, add, pick page 1, save. Edit. All right, so right now it's set to 1.5. Okay, so this is configured to only allow 2 right now. But then if I do that, it did still keep the decimal there.
Can I share my screen? And do you mind seeing if I configured everything right, or if it's something wrong, or if it may be a bug and I should have paid attention?
I was told that you aren't able to share screen, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
And that's just like a limitation of the Zoom webinar format. Because yeah, no, I would really like that. That would be a lot easier for me. Let me go back and make sure that this is configured the same. Initial value. Format, okay. Custom. Decimal 5. Show number group separator. So do you have it configured like this, that you have the custom format?
Yes.
Okay, and then you have the 5 there? Okay.
But it's not only with 5, it's also with 2 or 1.
But those are different number boxes, or those are different number boxes. Or okay.
Oh.
So I mean, yeah, it's just for looking at one of them, because I imagine whatever the issue with one of them is, it's the same issue across all of them. And then you have the number group separator thing there?
Not right now, but I also try to check it.
Okay, so the only thing I can think of, and that I've run into before, is it could come down to like the culture that your computer is set to. Because I've worked with a customer that was in Denmark, and there for like decimals, they use a comma instead of a dot. So very much like this situation, if I tried to just like type things in with a dot, it wouldn't take the dot. I had to like use a comma, or I can't remember exactly what I had to do to get it to work, but I did run into a very similar thing where if I tried to punch in the number, I had to do it a different way than how I would normally do it, just because of how they had things set up for their language and culture and stuff. So you
I
could be
thought
running into
about
something
that.
like that.
Yeah, I also thought about that, but then I changed it to the US culture,
Mhm.
and it's still happening.
Okay, then yeah, I would open up a support ticket for this, because then you'd be able to share your screen. Because yeah, this is a pretty difficult issue to diagnose without being able to see it happening.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do that.
Cool, thank you.
And I have another question.
Okay.
The app that you can use on the mobile, I developed a flow, and when I try to open the form, the field that I added with the currency box field that I added to the form, it's saying in my app that it not yet supported.
Ah, okay.
Is this normal?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is exactly what it says it is. It's just however the app is handling things, it can't handle that currency box.
Okay. What about rules? Because I have a list that whenever I select one item, the other one is updated with the matches, the possible matches from the first one. Is this also not supported because it's not working on the mobile and it is working normally on the website?
So you're saying you have like a data flow running on your form?
Yes.
Okay. That one is an interesting case. I feel like that should work. Because it would still be decisions, like the actual server that's running that data flow. So I don't think mobile should be limiting that. But is this in the actual decisions app?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not super familiar with the app, unfortunately.
No problem. I'll handle that with the support team.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. So does anybody else have any questions? Okay. Yeah. Alex just raised his hand.
Yeah. Hey there, Noah.
Hey.
So I just want like some clarification. I opened a ticket there the other day, and I got some information back, and I'm not sure that I understand what's going on. So
Okay.
this is about the account object in decisions. And if you go into the UI and edit an account, you'll notice that you can pick a manager. Okay, but if you actually use fetch entities or get current account to get the current account, it doesn't expose the manager as one of the attributes that's being listed from the fetch.
Okay.
And the reason for that apparently is because the manager is stored as a relationship.
Okay.
And so the thing that I'm not, so I mean, the reason that I'm asking this is because I want to update my accounts in decisions using a flow.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't seem like I can do this using a flow, but first off, I'm not sure whether that's a true statement, because there seems to be I mean, the verbiage, the text that I get back is something, it says this is something that was used much more prominently in older versions of decisions to associate objects to one another. But as the product has evolved, so have most of the organizational components alongside with it. So, I mean, does that mean that something like I'm on 6.18, I think. The latest version is 7.9. So, like, has this structure changed going forward? Or anyway, I guess I guess I'm kind of wondering, do I need to get further along in the version world to be able to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, which is effectively to populate that manager from Active Directory. And so consequently, basically, I just have a CSV file that has my manager, and I'd like to be able to make that association.
Okay. So what I would try to do here is find the table that manages that relationship.
Okay.
Let me see if I can try and find that. Because if we can target that table, we should be able to make changes to it to be able to change the manager within a flow.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm not sure what that table would even be called though.
So I'm fiddling around right now with a step called from internal services. Is it internal services? So
okay.
where am I? I am in. Yeah, I'm in integration, internal services, relationship, relation service, and in there there's a step called get relations for account.
Okay.
And so, you know, running this step with me going into the UI and picking a manager versus getting rid of the manager, that basically determines whether or not this step is going to provide me with output. So if I go back into here, into my guy, and I go edit account, and I go to the manager thing, and I go pick, and I go and I find my manager, and I go pick, okay, and then I go save, and then I go debug. So now the results from that step without a manager are empty, and now view input output data. Now I've got stuff.
Okay.
But I don't know what, you know, it tells me what my account ID, it tells me what the relationship ID is, but what the how I would find out where this thing is, I have no idea. You know, so I mean, it says
yeah,
it's just a bunch of GUIDs kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fair. So let me see.
I mean, it does produce something called an entity name, which basically, in quotes, has my user email, followed by a dash, followed by a manager, followed by like a C++, you know, reference character, kind of dash, you know, greater than sign, and then it points to my manager's email address. Yeah, so that's what I get.
Okay. This has relation ID, account ID, to account ID. Okay, cool. So what was that account ID I copied? 3 do. Okay, so yeah, that's that one. And then 2 account ID was manage get account ID 297744. Okay. So it looks like this is, yeah, this is the relationship that says that that's the manager. So if we go into the Data Explorer relation, okay. But we might not even need to, we might be able to do, because I see that we do have a save, and it does have relation info. Let me go back, let me not do the save yet, because it's the output from this guy again. Because it does take the email. Okay, so we'd almost, if we wanted to do it manually like this, and I'm not sure if there's a way to not do it manually. Okay, so I'm not sure of a way to do it without this, but if we go and grab this here.
So, I mean, you know, to give you like a further, so the gentleman, Ethan, he says, to sum up, this means you won't find it searching by just an account. You can use the get relations for account step, you know, in integration, internal services, relationship service, to find what relationships are associated with an account, which is what we just did, right?
Yeah.
These relations cannot be updated within a flow.
Oh, dang it.
So a new one would have to be created to take the place of the old one. Personally, I would advise against doing this within a flow, as it's tricky to get it working correctly. I think it would be more efficient to use the built-in selector under account settings unless absolutely necessary to do so within a flow. So yeah, so he like, yeah, yes, it's easy to do it within the you know, edit account UI, but again, that doesn't help me from if I want to,
that's not what you're wanting to do here.
yeah.
Edit account. He said it's not possible, but I'm going to try anyways, because that's just how I roll.
The impossible we do right away.
That I'm like, I don't know. I want to see it not work for myself. But I don't want to just have you tell me it doesn't work. All right, so, okay, obviously I can't do that. So I do need to grab the first item from that list first. All right, and then item index in our case would be 0.
Because
we're not doing a string.
Ultimately, I want to create the relationship, and the relationship does not exist previously. So, I mean, in my flow, basically what I would do is I would actually call the get account relationships function to find out if there already is a manager defined, and if there isn't, then I would do nothing. And but if there isn't one, then I would like to create a new one.
Okay. Was there a create in that toolbox? I don't think there was. That makes me wonder if we could use a create data to mock that up and then pass the one we created into there. Relation service. Okay. So we have get, we have delete. Ooh, exists. Oh, is that just saying if relationships exist? Yeah, that's not what we want to do. Okay, but if we get list pick. Oh, that one just is relation, not relation info. Interesting. No, I shouldn't do that. So if we get our relations, this is outputting as the relation type, but the relation type doesn't even seem to exist anymore. If I go here and I try and search for relation, I get relation info, and that's what the save step from the same toolbox folder wants. But that's not the same thing. Okay, but even then you were saying if it had a manager already, we would want to leave it alone.
Yeah.
I think I would need a custom rule for this. Pick or create rule. Pick, not pick, create new statement rule. Account as manager. Wait, maybe I don't need to do it as a custom rule. It might just be easier to do with this rule, but I can't pass in that relation object still. Because yeah, relation's not a thing. So let's take in the list of strings. Relationship names, and that'll be, come on, man, string. Oh, great. Okay, cool. That's a list of strings. Okay, so then contains any where relationship name, add condition, relationship name contains manager. So now we'll look through our list of relationships to see if any of them say manager. So that way, if it does have a non-manager relationship associated with it, we would still know that it doesn't have a manager.
Yep.
Okay. So if it has a manager, we would just want to do nothing. If it doesn't have a manager, then we can create a new entry in our table. Entity name, there we go. So we give that our list of entities. And then we'll come here. And this will be relation info. New manager relation. Save. Oops, because that's set to constant. So if we do build data, and get manager ID, save, so then we get relations for account, select from flow, account ID. If they already have a manager, we do nothing. Otherwise, we'll want to give them a manager. And that was, where was that? Oh, okay, this relationship info is a completely different object from the relation. Extension data, history folder, relation info ID. Dang it, okay. Yeah, this doesn't have the field where I can define who the manager is.
Yeah, so is what I'm understanding here is that this object doesn't expose like a kind of a create?
It does not seem to be doing that, no, because if I go into integration, internal services, and I scroll down to that relation service, there we go. We've got delete, exist, get all, folder ID, IDs, user contacts, password, user contacts, relation by name, relations for account, relations for group, session, user contacts, save list, search relation. So yeah, there doesn't seem to be an option to create, and then the save step is saving a different type than what's retrieved by the get. Because the get gets this relation type, but
Okay.
then the save takes in this relation info type. And that relation info type is not remotely the same to the relation type because we don't have like that related to field that we had on the other one. So yeah, like there's relation type, relation info ID, folder name, history folder ID, relation type. Yeah, so like we don't have that to account ID that it, like we have it on this relation object when we retrieve it, but then the object that we can actually save doesn't have that.
Okay, so am I just like out of luck here? Is that what's kind of going on?
Possibly.
Okay.
I would have to look into more of a way to do it, but I can make no guarantees that there is a way to do it, unfortunately.
Okay, that's, I mean, that's so yeah, okay. Okay, that's fine. I mean, again, like, I mean, this basically started because I'm noticing that we've implemented a workaround whereby we're putting the manager in a field that is available in the account object that's basically not being used.
Okay.
And then I thought, well, why are we doing that? And so basically I thought, oh, well, why don't I use the manager? And then I found I couldn't access the manager and open the ticket.
Yeah, that the manager thing is definitely a lot more complicated.
Okay.
But I do see that the table's called account relation. I don't know if it will let us write
Oh, you mean
an
like
insert query,
like,
but we could try and just write directly to the table.
yeah, so I don't think that would go over very well.
Probably not, no.
For the, so okay, so I guess basically my option would be to see if it's on the roadmap to be exposed. Okay.
But
and what version are you in right now?
This is 7 something, 7.6.0 revision 99999. This is a weird special build that I got.
Okay.
Because there was some other features that I needed for this project that I'm on right now. So
okay,
I've got a weird specific instance.
No, but the current release build I think is 7.9. Is that correct?
I have honestly not been keeping track of releases. If we go to, okay, that just searched for the company. All right, resources, install. 7.8.
Okay.
This is our current version, 7.8.0 revision 68420.
Cool. Okay, great. Thanks, Noah.
Yep. But while we're still here and talking about this, we do have this account extension thing that I need to kind of remember how it's set up. Let's see. Right. Yeah. So we have a simple database structure here called account profile. And then how does this end up getting related back to it? Is it in the settings somewhere? Because yeah, this is something I've worked on with another one of our professional services team members, but unfortunately he's on a call right now. But he's really proud of his account extension thing, and I feel like this could help you, because we use this to kind of add extra fields to our account.
Okay, gotcha.
So like you could add a manager here.
Right, gotcha.
But I forget the technical intricacies of how exactly that works.
Yeah, I'm using that, I think,
okay,
somewhere for something. I mean, again, it's like, for example, I wanted to store a full name rather than a first name, last name kind of thing. And they told me to make some kind of a structure that got associated with my type kind of thing. But again, like, I'm in the same position as you. I can't remember the exact details of what it is and how it got implemented and that sort of stuff. But I see what you're saying. So So basically what you're saying is that I could conceivably store this as an attribute rather than a relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. So in currently the way the account is implemented, the object contains a relationship to a manager, but I don't necessarily have to do that. I could actually just, but the thing is that, yeah, so I mean, the reason that this is all tied together is because you guys have a out of the box step called get manager. Okay, and it uses that relationship to find out who your manager is. So basically, if I implemented my own attribute, then I would need to also implement my own get manager.
Yeah.
Flow. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you would have to make a flow to fetch the manager this new way.
Right. Okay, so yeah, we got more information than I started with, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Awesome. All right, and then, Sabrina. Okay, so Sabrina was saying that we're good to end it. So thanks for coming, everybody.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And have a nice day.
Likewise. Cheers.